I'm Adam Kunzmiller with BGG TV, and we're here at Gen Con 2014. I'm joined by Travis Chance and Nick Little with Action Phase Games, and we're here to talk about Heroes Wanted. So, tell me about Heroes Wanted.
So in Heroes Wanted, you play a wannabe superhero who lives in Zeta City, and one morning you wake up and you see the front page of the newspaper, which is the box cover, and it says Heroes Wanted. So these are the champions of Zeta City. They're like the Avengers for your town, and they've had one of them retire. Fastodon, the world's fastest mammoth, was calling it quits, and they're looking for someone to take up his mantle and his spot in the champions of Zeta City. So you decide that's going to be me. I'm going to don a costume. I'm going to get out there, fight some crime, get my name in the newspaper, and then they'll have to pick me. So it's like this concept of American Idol meets the Avengers. You want to be the most famous guy, so that they pick you. So you start the game by figuring out which hero you want to be. So you'll draw 3 of these Hero A cards, and you'll take a look at them, and you'll pick which one you want to be.
Okay, so we got Millionaire, Fury, or Lord. I kind of like Lord.
Okay, you can be Lord, and then you'll draw, well, this is just a head, so you're going to need more than a head if you're going to fight crime. So you're going to draw 3 of these Hero B cards. So these will be your body.
All right, we got Mysterious, Deadly, and Invisible. I kind of like being an Invisible Lord.
Okay, so for this game, you'll be Invisible Lord. Now, you'll be dealt a hand of action cards, and everybody starts out with the same basic actions that help you move around the board and knock out some of the villain's minions and also deal damage to the villain. And then everybody starts with a superpower, which says activate your superpower. And that refers to the text on your top card. Your head card tells you what your superpower does, so that makes every character different. And the game comes with 36 head cards and 36 body cards, so you're talking about over 1,300 different. Yeah, you can play this game like a million times and never play the same game.
And it looks like it's the same thing for your nemesis as well.
Yeah, the villain is selected the same way. You just draw 1 at random, and there's 17 of the tops and the bottom, so you're talking about another 300 different villains you could play against. And then you figure out, you decide which level you want to play on, because the game comes with 2 double-sided boards, so there are 4 maps that you can play on. This one we have laid out here is littering, loitering, and jaywalking. And the boards, I'll give you the instruction on how you lay it out and what the special rules are for this one. On this board, the villain's going to be moving every turn. He'll move to the next number. So he's going to be jaywalking through the middle of the street. And
can't have that.
And on all the odd numbers, he's going to drop litter on the ground. So you're going to take one of these event tokens and put it, when he lands there, he's throwing away his garbage. So it's your job to pick up the garbage and to knock out his guys and stop him before he escapes after turn 16. Now, there are red spaces on this board. You can see you're not allowed to walk into there. You're a good guy. You can't be jaywalking.
You would never jaywalk.
Crosswalks. Yeah, I would never jaywalk. So you got to cross at the crosswalks. So they're only accepting 1 member on the team, and you're going to be playing this game with multiple people. So it is totally competitive. You know, you do not want to be helping each other out. So you basically play through knocking out, like I said, dealing damage and knocking out the minions, and through that course of that, you'll achieve these headlines, which are like mini goals within the game that unlock special abilities on your hero type card. The game has 4 different hero types, so it's like a flavor to the different types of heroes. So you have like cosmic heroes that are aliens, and then vigilantes, which are like normal guys that just go out there and punching people. And then so you play through until either the villain escapes or you knock them out, and then you count up your fame, see who wins the game, right? So the game also has this cool party game element to it where you have a quirk. So you don't have to play with these if you don't want to, but if your friends like to have fun and laugh and are a little outgoing, then you totally want to play with these because they're pretty hilarious. But these represent the personality flaw that have been holding your guys back. So for example, Invisible Lord, you have low budget sound effects. So, naturally. Yeah, obviously. So whenever you play a basic action during the hero phase, you must make a sound effect. So at the start of the game, you would put a token here on the 10, and then if you ever played a basic action and didn't make a sound effect,
and people caught you,
right, you would move it down to the next one.
Gotcha.
So for example, you could have been creepy. You could have been the creepy Invisible Lord.
Well, and then the fact that you're invisible only adds to that.
It does. So after another hero becomes the first hero, you must touch them and introduce yourself in a whisper. I'll be doing that under the table.
Yeah.
I'm the Invisible Lord. Right. So so you add those to your points at the end of the game, depending on what you have, and then you win the game if you have the most fame.
Great. And how long does a typical game take?
Typically, the first time you play through, it'll probably, if you're playing 4 players, it'll probably take an hour and 15 minutes. But once you get used to the game, 3 to 4 players is going to be 45 minutes to an hour, I would say. The game does play 1 to 5.
1 to 5?
Yeah, so you can play it solo where you're trying to reach a certain amount of fame before you knock out the villain or he escapes. And you don't win if he escapes. But yeah.
Okay, and is this available now? Can people get it
So right now we got funded through Kickstarter in February, and we did so well that we basically got to double the amount of stuff that came in the game.
It's a good problem to have.
Right, exactly. But we've run into some snags and customs and shipping and delays and stuff like
Rain.
that. Right.
Rain
Yeah.
delays like in
So
baseball.
much rain.
The Kickstarter gods
Right.
frowned upon you.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got some copies in for Gen Con, so obviously people here can pick it up. But the backers should be having their games in the next couple of weeks, and then it will be in the stores either September 2nd or September 8th. We're going to make sure that the backers get their copies before we send out the games to the stores.
All right, great. And once again, that was Heroes Wanted from Action Phase Games.